Are you sure about that?
Whoever. Well, did it happen?
No, not so sure. Not so sure because okay, look,
But did it happen?
they held a no, they took care of the infrastructure of the country. Number one. Number two, okay, it's two groups of white people there. It's English people and it's Afrikaners. The Afrikaners have been there for like about 400 or 500 years. Okay, and they live in the same way as other Africans do. So they've had like wars, and it was just them fighting like either each other or fighting some other group of these Africans. So if they thought they were going to just like slaughter them very easily, they've been there for many centuries. Where else are they going to go? Number one, and number two, they're used to like this African way of life with a whole bunch of violence and fighting. They will probably respond in kind because the whites who leave the country more often because they don't see any future is almost always English people. It's the Afrikaners who stick it out.
I'm just saying, when it comes to historical narratives, whenever I hear somebody say anything, I'm always just like, maybe the opposite is true.
Agreed.
I mean, we can hold up all these great historical men, and really analyze it. And then at the end, they all always end up sleeping in rooms with all these young girls, like Mahatma Gandhi or any other religious guru cult. It always ends up being sex magic.
Well, I mean, that's the purpose of gaining all that much influence among those people is like this crotch. And I mean, it happens like in like these Orthodox circles. These guys get in like positions like it was a time where they had a guy who thought he was going to make the strictest conversion court in the whole country. This guy's name was Leib Tropper. Okay. And he got caught trying to set up a threesome with a conversion candidate. And he's like, who do you want to do the threesome with? You want to do it with me and my wife, or do you want me to do it with me and this other samurai guy? And he did this so many times that he actually got recorded on tape. And then somebody publicized the tape. And it's like, well, you do know that the purpose of setting up like all of this infrastructure and having all these people around you is so that you could have preferred access to loins. So it's not uncommon in this. I don't know if I can say that it's bad because it's a sociological cliche at this point. King, MLK, he liked the white ladies, and he's supposed to have had like several extramarital affairs. Somebody suggested that it was a white lady he was interested in, and he could never marry her. He dated her during college or something, and that the whole nonviolence movement and the dream about little black boys and white girls going to school together, that was acting out the frustration of his not being able to have the one that he wanted. Interesting thought, and I would.
That's a good thing. And you know what? I was talking about it in Lonzo's room as well too, because like we always talk about like coons, right? Coons, a person who's black who loves white people, right? But I'm just like, how many like, what about white coons? What about people who made decisions, right, based off of their like, love for the black race, like that? There's documented situations like that too, where there are people who love their slaves, so they, at the time I'm talking about during slavery time. You get what I'm saying? Or like, um, actually, that's interesting what you said. So that would mean why Martin Luther King took the nonviolent route, and Malcolm X had more but he dated white girls too. But I guess he still hated white people. I guess.
No, he liked the white ladies too. He dated white girls, and if you believe Manning Marable wrote a book saying he also dated white boys too. He had like some relationship with like an older white man. Okay, Manning Marable, he wrote that in his book, and so okay, that's one. But I mean, okay, it's been like black people and white people marrying each other for like a very long time. In the United States, it's something like I think average black person has 17% European ancestry, and a lot of it was voluntary, and a lot of it happened after the slave time. And I'm sitting here with a book on the floor of my car called Black Men, White Women, and it's where a historian traces interracial marriage in the United States all the way back to the 1600s. So make a long story short, like, black and white people for various reasons have been like exploiting each other's tender bits for a long time and producing kids. And that's how you got like tens of millions of black people with white ancestry. It didn't all happen. So when they talk about like, I don't know what these people say, like, I live like 2 miles away from Detroit, right? And it's white people that come and choose to live around and marry black people, and it's just a thing. They just do it because that's what they like. I mean, I got like a girl I went to school with. Yeah, she had several generations of mixed race people from her body. I work with a guy. He has 6 kids in between 6 women, and all the women are black. And he's a white guy with about 8 teeth.
No, the thing, what I'm that a lot of the people who talk about like the woke people that you see in America. I don't really like the word woke, but let's just say the woke, right, in America, right? When you see
This man does something crazy.
mayor,
As you can see, he is preparing to throw a GoPro stick as a big plane is about to fly by, and the end result is magnificent. He times the throw perfectly, just look.
So that means her own spouse, who's a white male, can't come to the party. Now, why would like people think that the mayor that should have will be one of the person that is sorry. I why it's like they
Many people say that Temu is a scam, but today I bought their claimed $0 watch. At first glance, the watch is well built and comes with a magnetic charger that easily clicks into the back.
You grew up around all white people, okay? And so I don't know what you could be saying. So I don't worry about it. I know I made my choice to live here, like around Jewish people, and I don't think I regret the choice, not even for 1 second. So if I'm a coon, then so be it.
no, I'm talking cool more of a bigger sense. So like not just dating is one of them. Yes, that's an important one.
There's
But, like Mandela, right?
you do realize there's no such thing as a coon, right? I mean, it's a stupid word. It doesn't mean anything. It comes from a raccoon. People aren't coons. So when you use it, you degrade yourself and you degrade people who use that stupid word. I mean, it's a stupid word. You should just stop even using it.
No, I'm not the one. Like I'm just using it for the conversation. I don't use it in real life. But what I'm saying is like there are.
Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't real life.
Haters. Oh, I know it's real life. Adrian, you're getting annoying again. So self haters, right? Are people who hate themselves, right? And what they're arguing is society teaches them to hate themselves, right? So if that person hates themselves because society taught them to, why are you then being cruel to them? Because they were taught to hate themselves. So shouldn't people be compassionate to them rather than hating them? If
No,
they
it's
hate
not a
themselves?
question of being taught. It's not a question of being taught to hate yourself. It's more like this. You look up some statistics, okay? In fact, I got them right here at the tip of my fingers. Okay, and you are. Let's look at them. I wrote them down. Hold on, just a second. Cast, where are you? Okay, you look at the stats for like the stats for like for black people are not good at all. Okay, so I just wrote down a few of them here because I was reviewing a book. Okay, and it was something like 12.2% of the population as of 2019. Okay, 26.6% of total arrests, 51.2% of murder arrests, 52.7% of robberies, 28.8% of burglary, 28.6% of motor vehicle thefts, 42.2% of prostitution.
Is very important critical word.
Well, brother, we gotta allow Tom to tell that tale, right? Respectfully, there are partnerships throughout history that has led to the emergence of powerful states. Germany is a prime example. Germany didn't always exist. They was the fucking Confederation of the Rhine, right? Yeah. And then gradually but surely, I think it was Austria that erected the state, and through a series of little small conflicts, they built up a competent military, and next thing you know, they're pursuing hegemony in Western Europe. Pretty much all
I see what
right. So basically, when two superpowers are at odds, right, in an attempt to undermine each other, okay, they tend to redraw maps. Hey, we want to recognize this, we want to recognize that. So right now, the Russians are essentially, redrawing the map. They're changing the regime.
True.
And as they change the regime, this is essentially an opportunity for Africans to reconstitute the framework of their country.
That's true. And I'm not
the American regimes, pardon me, not to cut you off, but the American regimes, the Western regimes in general, they essentially, made every African country a stooge state. Okay,
Bro.
You are here to serve us. They have personal relationships with the presidents of those countries.
Correct.
They essentially enrich them and made
I
sure
know.
that they sucked the
I
country
know.
dry.
I
So
know.
that's been the business model for the past couple
I
of centuries.
know, I'm not disagreeing, and I'm not even against the Russian and Chinese coming to Africa, by the way. You know what? I sometimes want my allies to also take a hit in their teeth to wake up. Everyone needs a wake-up call. I see where you're going. It's a possibility, and it can happen. And I'm not against it. If any nation gets benefit from anyone, let them do it. I'm not a racist. I mean, I am racist against Turks, but that's a different story. But I'm not against it. It can happen.
Why is it that when you do a DNA test, they put Turkey and Armenia and all those areas together?
It's so funny because you know what? And now you're gonna laugh at me because so 3 out of 7 DNA or like 6 DNA international global DNA companies are owned by the Jewish billionaires as well.
I believe it. That's why I don't do it. But my cousin, who's like
So
double
they're
fisted.
helping them. Turkey is asking those companies specifically in return for favors to Israel. They're literally fake newsing, forging information right now with those companies to prevent, bro. There were massive suicide events happening like 4 years ago in Turkey. So the Turks, like ultra-nationalist Turks, were doing DNA tests, Heritage and 23andMe and blah blah, and they were suiciding when they were finding out they're like 90% or 80% Armenian. So the Turkish government, it was so serious. I'm not joking. It was so funny. It was so serious that the Turkish government sent letter to all these companies like, we're gonna ban you unless you do this and this and this, and if you do it, we're gonna help Israel with this and this. It's a business. It's a business as usual. I'm not against that. They can forge it, but truth will always win at the end. So no matter how much they forge it.
But if you get we have a percentage of this, but it doesn't tell us which it is because it's all together.
Yeah, because they're forging it. Because if they put Armenia and Greek and Kurds, the people will like fake what?
Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey, all together.
Yeah, because that's part of the plan. That's paid forging. How you call it? Paid forging. Yeah.
Yo,
But coming back to Africa again, I wish the best of luck. But I unfortunately bro. I'm gonna ask you something, Malcolm, and then I'm gonna know what way you're thinking. How old do you think the American deep state is?
centuries, I would say.
Millennials. Millennials. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck? America is like 257 years old. I'm gonna tell you millennials. I'm not gonna go into detail. Google it. Bro, it's the same. Yeah. I love them. I'm not gonna guess them, by the way. And I want Harris to win, by the way.
I know why you love them too, because you impressed with the business model. I love competence as well.
Exactly. I love competence, intelligence, and I'm like, even though I really was never part of any secretive organizations other than Armenian, but that's a different story. But bro, they're magnificently smart. They're so son of a bitches, and I love intelligence. Like it's crazy.
I was reading about Napoleon not that long ago, and as I'm reading about him, right, I'm learning that the Romanov dynasty, which was the Russians,
yes,
the Hohenzollerns, I forget the other two, but long story short, France, Russia, Britain, and Austria.
Yeah.
All of these families had intertwined bloodlines.
100%.
Generations.
100%.
And
do you
basically,
think they disappeared?
Napoleon-
They never disappeared. And do you think those hundreds of thousands of grandchildren just suddenly disappeared? Bullshit, bro. They're still alive. They don't even, intentionally, you never heard their names anymore. Bro, you know the Imperial Empire of Austria, the Habsburg, literally have tens of grandchildren alive. And if you Google them, you find that one is doing modeling, the other one is doing consult. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit.
Right. This is the cover.
Yeah, it's bullshit, bro. Bullshit.
I'm just confused. Like, I was listening to you in the other room, and then you kind of made more sense in this room, maybe because I came in a little bit later in that other room.
Sometimes I become radical, so.
Yeah. So I thought you had an issue with Islam. I didn't realize what.
100%, absolutely fucking. I love Islamic scripture. I love Quran, by the way. I'm actually in search of buying a Quran next week. I love.
So I misunderstood what you were saying. Because you just reposted Dan with his Allahu Akbar on your Twitter.
Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, I know. It's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the tweet he was responding to, but I just wasn't
Yeah.
sure what you were associating
I
with
love
like,
Islam.
Islam.
I love Islam. I actually have a theory, which is, so if you go to my Facebook page, which is, I just started, it's like 90 people for like, or not the main one, 40,000, the other one. I literally have this project that's called a Shia, which is the Iran Christian, a Shiite Christian. I want to invent this shit. So I love Islam as a philosophy and as a literature. I love Quran because my favorite language ever is Arabic, which is embarrassing to say as an Armenian, but
No, Arabic is a beautiful language. It's a very strong language.
I love my language, but I'm so good at Arabic. So it's like I'm perfect in Arabic. So because I learned it in school, writing, reading, right? Armenian I just learned at home, which is like fuck. So I'm absolutely not against Islam. Though I consider half of my friends are Muslims out here in Vienna. I love Islam so much, but I do differentiation. Look, I act like the vaccine. What do you mean by vaccine? A vaccine is the same virus but dead. So no matter how much the virus attacks, they can't win. So I consider myself as a vaccine in Europe. So I would actually fight Islamist movements in Europe who are trying to take over Europe. But that does not mean I hate Islam. Actually, the opposite. I love Islam.
I get it. It's just weird whenever I keep hearing the suffix ism added to Islam to make Islam seem somewhat some kind of political means.
Yeah.
It's just odd. But when you did say Armenia was like the first Christian country, I like looked into it with ChatGPT, and what I found really interesting was this is like in the 300 AD, correct?
Yes.
So this is almost 300 years after like
Correct.
the birth of Jesus.
Correct.
So it starts to create a lot of questions in my
No,
head.
I'm going to tell you how it works. We were the first Christian nation. What it means. So there was the Armenian kingdom. So the people of Armenian kingdom and the kings and the imperial family one day decided after a miracle happening. So every single this country. So you know what Sharia is?
Yeah, but most people don't know what Sharia is.
Sharia is literally the laws that the Islamic country should follow. So
No, that's not what Sharia is. But continue.
Yeah, in a sense. So we were the first nation that accepted Christianity and said every single Armenian from there on must only be Christian, and we will follow the Christian law as the law of the land and as the Sharia. So we were the first Christian nation, not the people. You know what I mean?
No, I understand that. It's just I'm wondering why it took so long.
But there were no nation before us. It took so long because when Christianity started for 300, 400 years, it was persecuted. Literally, the 12, the children of Jesus were tortured to death, and people were followed by the. It's like we were dragged and hunted by the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire. Even in Armenia, we had our own religion, pagan religion. Christians were killed for 50, 60, 100 years. So it took so long. Actually, it's only the first nation to ever accept Christianity as a we imagine how long it took for the Europeans, for some African countries, and all. So we were the first, and it took 300 years. Imagine.
Yeah. Got it.
So what I'm saying is though, we had a very unique place under the Islamic Khilafats, the Abbasiyya, the Umayyad, the Rashidiyya, all of them, right? Because they respected us so much as the first people to embrace Isa ibn Maryam as the religion. So we were always under their, so we were Imara, which is like Emirates.
So what are your thoughts about these empires? Because I'm kind of trying to look at them in the context of like the Islamic like jurists and theologians.
We always had a great relationship with them, always. Sometimes like Trump or some
But empires
assholes.
do bad stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I tell you why. So sometimes assholes like Trump or Putin took the control of those empires, periods of time. Those were the worst, so they came and genocided us, and they like increased taxes by 24. But always it was against even the Islamic Sharia when they did it. So we don't conflict as people. We don't conflict Islam with those maniacs that came and used Islam as a religion to oppress us. You know. So the only time Armenians had really a direct confrontation with something called Islam was literally when the Turks betrayed Islam by themselves and used Islam to justify our genocide. That's the only time in history. Sultan of the Ottoman Empire ever visited Mecca. They never did Hajj.
You know what's so interesting is like
Because they're Jews, they're liars.
you know, there's a lot of shows on Netflix. Obviously, it's propaganda shows, but it's like, but it's pre like the Armenian genocide. It's during the times of you know, where it's not. Yeah, and there's another one that I had watched. I forgot what it was called. And it was when they were when that guy Dracula was impaling the Muslims. During that time, and so I had a sense of pride of my Muslim heritage. Obviously, I'm Muslim. I don't know if it's obvious since I'm half naked, but like I had like a sense of pride of my Muslim heritage. And I came on Clubhouse and I said something, and then the Armenians started attacking me as if I was like advocating for the genocide of Armenians.
I will tell you.
But I didn't say anything like that. And since that day, like you're literally the only Armenian I've ever heard say what you're saying.
I will tell you something. Don't excuse them. You know why? Armenians from the Middle East are like me because we grew up with Islam in Islamic countries. Armenians who are not exposed to anything in the modern time called Islam hate Islam not because they hate Islam. They don't even know what Islam means. Just because even Armenians believe that some Armenians, that big chunk of it, they did that genocide just because of Islamic Sharia, which is absolutely bullshit. It is actually against Islamic law that what they did to us. So don't excuse them. It's ignorance, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's they have nothing because they don't know what Islam is. They don't know what Sharia is. They've never been to Islamic country, most of them. So understand them, and it's wrong. It's 100% wrong. I even sometimes have huge problems in my community because all these movies that you watch, the series, I watch them, every single one of them. I love them. It's funny to say I love them because I was the victim, but I love them. They do great job. They're son of a bitches in marketing. Most of them are propaganda, but there's so much historic context.
Yeah.
Again, do you know what Payitaht Abdul Hamid the series?
I didn't watch Osman. Which one?
Oh my God! If you
it's not accessible, and I didn't even finish Ertugrul because it was so long. But I love Turgut. Turgut was my favorite. Because of everything it went through.
And by the way, an extra point. It's so funny that Armenians in the Ottoman Empire were like the Jews today in America. So we had the most powerful, bro. We had every fucking shit. We were the ruling class.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Armenians are in Palestine, and like they're part of our society.
100%. 100%. Yeah. The only fuck up happened is, again, Jews will be sad if I say it, but it's when the crypto Jewish, ultra malicious, secularist, Satan worshipist people.
I mean, that's not the Paul the Ottoman is.
Exactly. So that's funny because the enemies of the Turks were also our enemies. They made us enemies out of brotherhood. The problem is it's so hard to convince both sides, Turks and even Armenians. That's why I think that I must be a leader in Armenia, which I'm working on, because I'm the only bridge that can connect the two without assimilation. Because Armenia is like, they're evil, they want the Khilafat, they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. They want to assimilate us and make us Turks and all that bullshit. And the Turks is like, those Christian, like kuffar, they want to kill us and they work with the West to end the... It's like bullshit. The people are so innocent, the people are so ignorant, they're intellectually bankrupt. And I don't excuse them, I don't blame them. It's pain in the ass to hear them, but it is what it is. But again, biggest proof is Armenia was always, like, Armenia is the only Christian nation that is literally in ally relationship with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Like, bro, it's an Islamic Republic of Iran. If you go to Iran, Armenians are so wealthy. We have churches, we have like, oh my God, I've been there by the way, I've been to Tehran. So, oh my God, lately, not like 100 years ago. So it's sad. You need like, you know, I call myself, even though I hate the guy, I call myself the Ben Shapiro and Karl Stakkerson of the Armenians, and I have a duty and obligation to educate my people, and it's so hard. Like, yeah, it's sad.
Okay, then I completely misunderstood what you were saying in the other room because
no.
of the language that you were using, and I was like, is he saying the Muslims hate Jesus Christ? But I realized now you were talking about the Jews.
No. Turks. Again, I told Malcolm, Turks are Syrian. They're not. I don't consider them Muslims at all. Some of
No,
them.
I hear you. Like, I used to be
Yeah.
friends with a Turkish girl on here, and she's like half Yemeni, half Turkish, and the culture there is very interesting. Yeah, no, it's.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny that it's so funny that the Turks say we want to be the Islamic Empire, right? Okay, great. At the same time, they say Armenia never existed in history, right? Which is so hilarious. But okay, great. At the same time, go to not Armenian maps or Western Christian maps, right? Go to Islamic maps of the Persian Empire, of the Caliphate, of the Islam. Like, bro, there were letters sent by Prophet Muhammad to Armenian nation saying, yeah, Arman, blah, blah, blah. So, how did Armenians not exist if you're fucking, like, bro, if your prophet is contacting our kings? It's hilarious. But yeah, they're ignorant as well. There's literally maps under the.
But what you said about like how the French and the British just drew borders, not to like change the subject, it's very true because there you could go from one place, from Lebanon all the way to Iraq to Saudi. Like it was more. They had trains that navigated from one big city to another city, and all of that was destroyed.
100%.
Like imagine the way the society looked during that time.
Yeah, 100%. British are the most fuck ups. They're the worst. I hate them so much. I want the independence, Scotland and United Ireland. That's one of my main objectives in life until I die. British are the worst of the worst.
So you want Northern Ireland to be back with Ireland rather than
100,000%. It's due. If I had the chance, I would even pick up arms and go and fight for them.
Because there's a guy on this app who's in Northern Ireland and he's the opposite. He wants to be part of the UK.
Long live the IRA, bro. Fuck the British son of a bitches. The Brits are the core, the original last outspot of the true Satanist empire on the globe. They are Turkey is the condom, the dick dog of Britain, by the way. Turkey got only away with everything they done because Britain.
But obviously even Sardinia, like their ability to establish their statehood was through Great Britain, correct?
Yeah, but but the Turks have special. The Turks are the Saudis. Yes, use the British and all that. But Saudis they have Wahhabism, so they can fight against Britain if they fucking go maniac.
No, Wahhabism is gone. Now it's Madkhalism.
Now it's different story, but they had what I mean.
Yeah,
The Turks are void. They have nothing. They are literally the bitches of Britain. Nothing.
So why do you think? Okay, so I know you were talking about. I don't know if you were talking about whiteness as an Armenian or just Armenian and their connection to Western European. Why do you think? Why are there so many people who claim? Hold on. Why are there so many people who claim Christianity that have this blind allegiance to Great Britain because of this perceived whiteness of them? You don't think there's this like perceived allyship with them?
They're the Satanists. They're the worst. They fucked the Catholic Church by creating the something.
Yeah, but they don't seem to care. They like put their whiteness above them.
They're ignorant. Like evangelicals in America, you're supporting Israel. Oh my God, what the fuck is that? Judeo-Christian culture. Yeah, Jesus was Christian, and Judea was the cross that they put on him. It's like it's bullshit. It's ignorant to the deep. What is it? The king of England, Satanist king, had 5 prostitution wives. He was pissed from the Pope. That's bad. So he was literally the Andrew Tate of his time, and he invented the church. Wow. And they did wars. They literally did wars against Catholic Christian people. And I'm not Catholic, by the way. They killed millions of Christian. They're satanic as. Bro, just Google the city of London, not London, the city of London, the where the Satan resides. It's literally. Did you see the picture of the king, the red picture that they did? What more satanic bullshit you need? They have nothing to do with Christianity.
No, I hear you, and I hear what you said about Turkey and how they have like the strategic ability to attack like Israel, especially since they have base in Azerbaijan and different places. But my question to you is, why is Iran not doing anything?
Well, look, there's this conspiracy in the Middle East that says Iran and Israel are actually the best allies. This is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
Which
because
is-
like I'm
it's very logical.
upset.
It's very logical. It's very logical.
I'm very upset that Ismail Haniya was killed in Iran, and I believe
Me
Iran
too.
had to do with something with him being killed. Like
I was shit.
I am very, very sad that they killed him. I mean,
I can
I
ask
ain't
you a
gonna
question.
lie, when I read that headline in the morning, I was hella confused. Like, hold on, who died where? How?
I will tell you something. You know what? I was so pissed for 4 days. I was waiting. I was even trolling
I'm still
Danielle.
upset. I still retweet photos of him and his granddaughter.
Yeah, but you know what? By the way, I have Qasim Sulaiman's picture on my first pinned tweet. Like, it was my first tweet ever. And I'm not gonna change it. Look, it's a bit look, Iran is Persia Plus, like Pro, like, you know, iPhone Pro X Max Plus, blah, 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
Iran is, I love them, bro. They're so fun. Look, by not responding, what did they do? First of all, they exposed the entire Islamic Sunni world as pussies. So your guy, a Sunni guy, got assassinated. It was my mistake. My security was compromised. Okay, I accept that. That's humiliation. But where are the tens of thousands of Sunni
No, I
airplanes?
hear you.
No.
I hear you. But I'm also mad at like us. Like I'm mad at like
100%.
Ismail Haniya because like we, the Palestinians, are dumbasses. Why are we going to Iran when they're Shia and you know they hate us?
What other solutions do you have?
I
No,
get
this
it,
is
but
bullshit.
what is it?
I know that there's a cultural. I know that there's a cultural.
Listen, I got
the
exposed.
Shias and the Sunnis,
it's not
but
a
nonetheless, the biggest supporters of resistance in the Middle East
hold on.
are the Iranians.
Hold on. I'm not saying, listen, I, like many Muslims, used to say it's a political difference between Shia and Sunni. Until I got on this app and I interacted with Shias that said really what they wanted to say because they could hide behind anonymity. And the things that they said about our companions, about the wives of the Prophet, even theological differences, even how they perceive
Can
us
I ask you
as
something?
Muslim,
Can I ask you something?
they don't perceive
How
us
do
as
you
what we
know?
need.
How do you know they're not Zionist bots that work on making Sunnis and Shias?
Oh my God, bro! I was just thinking to myself, like, how do you know you wasn't talking to AI?
Exactly. So
I mean, this is like I get you. This is like 2 years ago before AI became a
Don't fall for it. It's the same what happened with you when Armenians were talking shit about Islam. How do you know they're not Turks pretending to be Armenians to talk shit about Islam that they make Armenia and Islamic world collide? This is very.
You don't want to become a nut and think that everything is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But definitely rely more on your lived experience.
Okay. No, I get it, but the Maraja, like, okay, let's not even go to the Maraja. Let's just go to their Aqidah. When it comes to my coughs aren't very strong. When it comes to their Aqidah, or not even that, when it comes to how they see the Sunni Muslim,
Yes.
they don't see the Sunni Muslim as, they might see them as a Muslim, and I think whoever is a mu'min is between God and only God knows. But they have this understanding that a Sunni Muslim can never be a mu'min.
A question mark. I have a question mark for you. A, why does it matter? B, let's say they do that. How would it harm
Because
you?
what I'm saying is why did Ismail compromise himself by going to Iran and why is Hamas in general compromising themselves with Iran?
Princessia, respectfully. Hold on, Postai John. Respectfully, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, even the Syrian rebels. Okay,
but
all
those
of these
are different.
people. Hold on, ma'am. I said one sentence, please, respectfully. All of these people are being supplied by Iran. Okay, so these folks, and I'm talking about Hamas. There's a media blackout as far as America's concerned. You see the way they reacted when Tucker Carlson went over to Russia to interview Putin. It's the same policy for Hamas. Don't go over to the Middle East to give these people a platform. We don't need any sympathizers. We need folks to think that they're monsters so that when we wipe them out, there's no tear shed, essentially, right? So the only state that's willing to receive him in a proper and respectable manner is the one that's supplying him with all the weapons to engage in resistance.
He was safe in Qatar all these years. He went to Turkey.
Nonetheless, The man lost his whole entire
No, he
family.
didn't.
What more do you have to lose?
No, he didn't. This is the other thing is people like don't fact check. He lost some of his sons. He lost some of his granddaughters. But he did not lose his whole family. He has 13 children. I follow
Still though, what does it mean?
Like
Yeah, but like he didn't listen.
it's
he didn't lose his whole
trivial,
family.
honestly.
No,
Like,
it is. But
You
no,
lose
that
a bunch
matters
of
because-
kids, right? Whether
No, it
it's
matters.
your entire
Why
family
is that
or
though?
half your family.
Bro,
No, it matters. It matters that they.
why
died.
do you
Like,
say
I,
he
like,
got the
literally-
shahada? Wait, he got the shahada. Why
I know.
So why are you saying? So why are you saying?
Because he's so beautiful. Like I love him. He's such a sweet,
He was
beautiful
a
man.
leader. I
His
know,
reputation.
He was a leader, I know. And sooner or later, there's no way he gonna be, bro. It was expectable. There's no way ever.
Like أنا مش مرتاحة إلى سنوار. أنا مش مرتاحة إله. Like at all. ما فتحني.
We're not doing that. We're gonna speak
No, that's
English.
fine. She said that she doesn't.
Don't translate it. Don't translate it.
It doesn't matter. Look, we're going to details into like the Palestinian issue. Long story short, there's this universal, like intergalactic war of happening. You have to be super ingenious, like genius smart to not fall for psyops, and you have to be sometimes humiliated, sometimes humility, sometimes pride. It's a tough game. We're fighting against ultimate evil that exists in the universe that is representing in some dark forces on the globe that are satanic, destructive.
By the way, Adrian,
I hope the
Adrian's recording this
Palestinian-
conversation, just so you know.
Look,
I
I'm
hope
gonna
the
be
Palestinian
something.
forces overcome like what they dealing with right now. But what I dislike is the fact that like the majority of their interests, pretty much all of their interests, right, are dependent upon the international community in terms of advancement.
I know.
Like they can't really militaristically
No, that.
like push back.
You know
against
what
the
I
idea.
want? You know what I want? It's a project that I'm also working on it, and you're gonna be shocked about. Listen to this. I want the monarchy in Jordan to be assassinated, and the new Palestine to be established, and Jordan to be the new Palestine. And I want Israel. It's so funny, but listen to me. I want Israel to take over the entire land. In return, Israel creates a new Palestine for the Palestinians, and they give them Jordan. So only then the Palestinians will have an official state that they can build up an army and go head to head with Israel. Otherwise, it's not fair. In all cases, Jordan is a failed fucking state with a Jewish Hebrew monarchy that is the bitch of Mossad. So I think
You live in a fantasy land, brother.
Are you saying when
You live in a fantasy land. Respectfully,
wait,
the Israelis have a containment policy in effect for the folks of Palestine. They want to contain that population at all costs. If you look at Netanyahu's 1996
I
address to
know, I'm
Congress,
against that.
right?
I'm against. I
He
want
said,
a big Palestine.
look at the continent of Africa. Hold on, real quick. He said, look at the continent of Africa, right? There are plenty of foreign militaries, right, in African nations, and no one's calling it occupation. Why do we have to call the IDF's military presence in Palestine, so-called Palestine, according to him, a military presence or part of a military occupation? So, like, I don't know. If we playing fantasy geopolitics, that's a possibility, but
I will
I
tell you
don't see
something.
that happening.
I will tell you something. I need to run soon because like midnight here. But look, it is a fantasy. But don't forget, the Jews had the fantasy of today's Israel for 2,000 years, and today is a fucking reality. So fantasy, every dream starts with delusion, then into fantasy. Then if you're smart and hard and work hard and be brave and strong enough and intelligent enough, that fantasy turns into reality. I want this fake fucking state of Jordan to be ended. I want a new Palestine to be created. By the way, 60% of Jordanians are Palestinians. So the 40% they can go and suck the dick of Saudis.
But don't you think we have what's the word I'm looking for? Strong spiritual and emotional attachment to our actual land in Palestine.
I will tell you something. Yes, I will tell you something. Of course, I understand it, and I sympathize with it. I will not tolerate one thing, which is the destruction of Al-Aqsa Mosque and the establishment of the Third Temple. That one I would fucking not tolerate. So if you create a new Palestine and you make the capital of the new Palestine instead of this fucking fake Oman which is bankrupted, east of Jerusalem, that would be the best deal ever. You would have an army, you would have soldiers, you would be a state to be able to protect about yourself. And one more thing, don't be sad. Look, I come from the Middle East, but this is a point that I really agree with the Jews, and don't be offended, but that's also really true. Why the fuck do we need another failed Arab state? We have Tunisia failed state. We have most of the Arab world failed state. So I do want a Jewish state. And from Jewish state, I have only one red line in Palestine. The Aqsa Mosque must not be touched because I know exactly why they're going to do it. They're going to do this satanic ritual and they're going to create this global new religion, which is super dangerous as fuck because they want to destroy the Aqsa Mosque and create the Third Temple, and I don't respond to whoever they want to do it. And I truly believe in that jihad story that the Shias keep telling. I really, truly believe that. So that is the red line. That's like a dead fucking
Also,
line.
Post, I hear you.
What do you
But
think
correct
the
me if I'm
future? What do you think the future of Palestine is?
Can I just say something about his new Palestine in Jordan? It's from obviously the green and the fertility of the land in Palestine is not the same as Jordan either.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna be so
Like we're farmers, we're city.
I know, but I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna be harsh, but I'm gonna tell you something that you need to hear, and not a lot of people are saying. Look, Armenians lost 90% of the land that we lived on for 5,000 years. It's now Turkey and part of it, Azerbaijan. I know what you're saying, but exactly like we have to compromise and accept the realities of the centuries that we live in, and accept that the fact that the satanic global elites have the superpower after God to do whatever the fuck they want. We have to go with the best outcome possible, even if it's the bad between the worst. You know what I'm
saying?
going
The same thing. Look,
So
I feel
it's
as though-
impossible. The idea of creating, bro, it's impossible. Look, tomorrow, Iran sends 1 million soldiers. Hezbollah sends 150,000, and Yemen sends 100,000, and Israel is no longer, right? IDF is lost, there's no Israel, and they lose, right? You know what will happen? You think Palestine will establish? Bro, millions of Western soldiers will come back, invade it, and recreate Israel. There's no way Israel will fail. Bro, let's say IDF is killed. Not a single IDF soldier is left. Iran, let's say somehow a miracle happens and Saudi Arabia wakes up and they send 400,000 army, like 1 million soldiers, and they liberate Palestine. There is no way that's the end of the story. The next day, somehow these old globalist satanic people will pretend they're a Christian again, and the Pope will go for the third crusade, and Western armies will pour in like hell, and they're gonna liberate it again, and they're gonna get back to the Israelis. So I'm sorry, but forget about the state of Palestine. No fucking way. Even if Israel,
they need to
Look,
absorb the
if
Palestinians
you look
into
at
the state.
Netanyahu's post-war plan for Gaza, right? This whole rehabilitate the Palestinian population thing, right? This is all to produce a cultural change in the population. But respectfully, if they got a Yahya Sinwar 75 years from 1948, right? They're gonna get another Yahya Sinwar, 75 years from 2023. So I think that
Sinwar was tortured in
have on their
prison.
hands.
Let's just be
And
clear.
that's
Sinwar
why
was
they're
tortured in
conducting a
prison.
little bit of a soft cleansing. Because I don't think that they didn't complete the cleansing they're trying to conduct. So I think this is soft cleansing.
again, bro, it's slow. Listen. I
think that they'll push the line as far as trying to reduce them to the parallel equivalent of Native Americans in the U.S. The population is so small that they'll be entitled to essentially small reciprocity.
100%. They're gonna be minority.
Reservations.
The
It
only
doesn't
way.
even compare. The Native Americans were absorbed into U.S. society. Like they would never absorb us into Israeli
they were
society.
not.
That's
They
the
were
point.
not.
No. I don't think you heard me, right? They absorbed the Native Americans post reducing the population.
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
so there's rumors of a cleansing, and essentially, I don't think that they can see the entirety of the cleansing through the finance minister. Essentially, just suggests starving 2 million people, and he was condemned by the international community. So there's pressure from within and from without Israel to essentially, watch how they conduct themselves. So they won't go as far as to perhaps wipe out the entire 2 million, but I think that they're going to eliminate a significant fraction so that when they come back into the territory, things are easier to maintain.
Look, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. As a future possible leader of Armenia, which I'm working on, I see it one way. If Palestine will ever survive as a thing, it's Jordan. You need to do exactly like what Israeli Jews did. You need to colonize them, take over their country, and reestablish your own country from the history. That's the only way possible. There's no way on, even though I'm a huge supporter of Iran and the axis of resistance. I literally have their pictures all over my social media, which is illegal in my country. I can be imprisoned if they see that, by the way. Many people actually threaten me all the time. If you screenshot and go to the police, you're gonna eat like 3,000 euro fine. I am telling you someone who is pro axis of resistance. And Iran is not stupid. Iran knows the only way Palestine will survive is if a neo-Palestine will be created in Jordan. And by doing that, you only can do it by wiping out the royal family, which are like less than 20 people, but it's not so hard. It's literally not hard. If you're literally JFKing and trumping them in America, you can do that shit in the Middle East, especially that every fucking one can be a terrorist at any given second if they get enough money and training. So the only way Palestine will survive is Jordan turning into into greater Palestine, and the Jewish state is there. They're not gonna lose. The only way that Israel is gonna fail, I'm telling you, if really the story of the Dajjal is real and some sort of apocalyptic biblical event happens and Jesus come back, and that's a completely different story. But like in modern day warfare, technology, bullshit. Israel will not fail, bro. They own the central banks of the world. Are you joking? I laugh at the reports like Israel having big economic downturn. What? Bro, they can create 20 billion times new Israels overnight if they want to, those global elites. They will not lose. They cannot lose. Again, it's a colonial hotspot entity.
Yeah, what they remind me of? On some softball shit. You ever watch the Game of Thrones and seen
No, I didn't.
what's that island?
I didn't.
Where she? You never seen the Game of Thrones?
No, I didn't.
Huh. But there's an island in the Game of Thrones. Like basically, all of the kings, they're seen as like these prestigious figures or whatever the case may be. But like they'll go to this island and they're basically panhandlers to a bunch of bankers. Like they're still kings, they're still nobles. But they gotta argue their case before these bankers because they don't have enough money to fund their own wars. And it goes to show you, like, there's checks and balances to this whole power thing. Because the bankers, when they want to, they could kind of like change the tide of who's in control by just extending money to one empire in surplus, and boom, the world's changed.
Yeah,
You should watch that show. It's a really good show.
You know why I didn't watch it? I consider it to be so gay to watch it. Everyone was watching it. I'm like, I'm the resistance. I'm not gonna watch it. It's so funny. I did like a challenge. I'm not gonna fucking watch it. That's why. But
that leftist, new era LGBTQ shit.
Yeah. Do you have Twitter?
I actually do have a Twitter account.
You don't use it?
The name is different. It's not like a real Twitter account.
You can find my Twitter is on my bio here on Clubhouse. You can find me there. I'm gonna be more active in Twitter a lot. Like I'm doing a budget right now to invest like $2,000 in my Twitter account, advertising and all that shit. I'm gonna be super active on Twitter. I'm actually also working on Facebook. I have like again 40,000 followers on Facebook already, which I built from zero. Yeah, but that one is only Armenia based, very localized, very nationalized, like not English based. But my Twitter will be international. I'm gonna try to join the league of the three legend Tate, Dan, and Candace in the next 5 years.
Yo, I want to know, were you a politician in your country or just a private citizen participating in politics?
Bro, I'm 24, a private citizen.
Ah, no doubt. I forgot.
How long do you think? How old do you think I am?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know, but you know, I don't really make those kind of assumptions because when I was younger, folks used to tell me things like, I just don't let this shit get to my head. I like where you at though, brother. You know, if you keep it up, keep yourself humble and just keep the same appetite. All these ambitions that you got, you might actually realize them.
100%. I'm putting my blood and thick and my, how you call it, what's the thing? I'm tired now. Sweat. I'm putting my sweat and blood into this.
You gotta have like an athlete's mindset, a conqueror's mindset. You know, because I've been reading about Napoleon, and this is a dude that lived in a time where there was no smartphone. You know,
it's so funny. Yeah.
You still needed to keep that mind engaged and stimulated, and folks just, you know, standardized being productive back then. Like they'd actually pick up and write, and they feel sophisticated. They feel fulfilled.
I'm writing my book, by the way. I know. I'm writing a book at the same time too. Next to all this that I'm doing.
What is it about?
Everything that we spoke, but more like internet. So technically, I'm gonna make it like I am making it about my philosophy, like about this universal philosophy of ethics, morality, and mysticism. In decoding the universe, human civilization, a mixture of anthropology as well as theology. So it's gonna be crazy. And you know what I'm gonna put the title? It's crazy. You know where Hitler is from?
Where?
From Austria. And do you know where he studied? Where he lived and worked and studied? In Vienna. So he applied to be an artist in Vienna and they rejected him. And the next year he decided to become Hitler, right? So I literally study at art university in Vienna. So I'm gonna I swear to God, everyone is dying in my university. They're afraid the shit out of them. I keep trolling it. I'm afraid, but I use the joke. I'm gonna call my book. I'm gonna call it because he called his book My Struggle. You know, Mein Kampf. You know?
Right.
I'm gonna call my book Our Struggle. It's gonna be so nice. I swear to God. I
don't know how you say that in German.
Unserer Kampf.
Unserer Kampf.
Unserer Kampf. Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious. And I'm gonna
a lot of expression. Unserer Kampf.
Well, before you go, since you're like a student of Arabic and you really like it, when you hear the word Sharia, what does it illustrate in your mind, linguistic? Like, what is the linguistic, not the legal definition, illustrate in your mind?
I see the word in my head, literally the word, because I love Arabic. I love alphabet calligraphy. So I see the word. I literally see the word.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because a lot of people don't understand that Sharia is a path to goodness from the linguistic, theological sense. Are you aware of that?
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't see it that way. When you say the word Sharia, the first thing that comes in my mind is the word written, like the calligraphy word, you know?
But you know what makes me think? I wonder if Sharia and Shara are from the same jizr. You know, like Shara, like street.
Yeah, interesting. No, I don't think so. But what I also think
it is actually.
I see Sharia as a constitution, to be like Islamic constitution. That's what I see it in a sense. That is always hijacked by some morons, by the way. But I'm gonna call it Unserer Kampf. I'm writing it. I have so much on my plate, but I even, bro, crazy. Imagine one day you see me on the television become like the president.
Well, we don't know how you look like, so we can. So we'll just try to hear your voice.
I literally look like my picture. This is like a literally picture of myself.
Are you a redhead?
It's literally me. This is literally me. I'm not joking. It's like just
Okay. So you're a redhead.
Don't worry, I'm definitely gonna tap in with you, bro. I fuck with your whole like that for knowledge, bro. Like you know what you talking about.
Instagram, if you want to see me, if you go to Instagram, write this name or put Ark, like Ark of Noah, Ark Postayan, and you're gonna see me on Instagram. It's
Yeah.
called Ark.
You gonna start hosting spaces?
Twitter, most probably not now. I'm putting my budget together because I'm so pissed at Elon Musk, bro. He's stupid as fuck. He has the worst. He wants so much money to fight the mainstream media, right? And all this company that are boycotting him and this company, Twitter. Bro, but he has so shitty ad system. Like, it's so expensive. It's so shitty to market on Twitter. It's so shitty.
You mentioned them real quick. What you think about what's going on in Venezuela?
Oh, bro, I'm not going into that. I have so much in my plate. I think it's funny. He's fighting Jews. I know Maduro is fighting Jews and Zionists. But I think he's fucked up. Venezuela is fucked up both cases. Like, Malay is worse for, like, it's the same shit, bro, for me. Yeah, it's sad. I don't want to talk about it. It's so deep. It's sad. I don't want Malay to win. Fuck Malay, bitch, Zionist bitch, son of a bitch. But Maduro is also Putin. Like, bro, Venezuela became a shit country. It was the wealthiest country on the planet.
Yeah, but still all them fucking embargoes.
Yeah, I know mainly 90%, that's what I argue too. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't want to go. Like, I have so much war in Middle East and my country.
When they make you, when you don't have a foreign policy that's consistent with what they want you to do, they just embargo the shit out you and call your leadership incompetent.
I know. That's why you have to do exactly like who? Like PBD. Play both sides, know your target. Don't play both sides. No, that's hypocrisy. That's the title of his book is great, bro. Read it.
You gotta be like the Indians, man. The Indians really do it the best. PBD don't got shit on movie.
They're smart, but they can only do it because they're $1.5 billion. So everyone wants them as soldiers, cannon feathers, Do as people. That's the last thing I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. By the way, they're the biggest ally of Armenia. We are the number one arms buyer of India. Imagine 194 countries. The tiny Armenia is the first number one buyers of Indian army, like arms, like how Israel buys arms from America, we buy same from India, and I don't know how great. Yeah, I don't even know how great that would. We never tested it. We just started it 3 years ago because we left Russia behind and we can't buy from the West because it's super expensive. And now we're like all in India. I think they're good. We never tested them out. I'm afraid from testing because even India didn't test them out. India never.
Let me ask you a question. You think Trudeau or one of these Canadian administrations? Think they're going to start pushing India?
He can suck my ass. He can't even manage Canada. He wants to, bro. He can suck my ass. He's a liberal dictator. Yeah, I love him. It's a funny guy. I enjoy watching him. Like, he thinks that he's really something. It's funny. I wanted to hunt him when he did the COVID shit. Bro, he's bullshit. That guy's a kid, bro. He's a kid. He's a gay kid. It's a kid. He's a kid. He's literally a kid. That's all. He's a kid. He's not a prime minister. He's a kid. That's all I was a kid. Like a child. He's a child. Happy child. Yeah, he comes from an aristocratic family. His father was the prime minister. Part of his family are Jews. Part of his family are Kabbalah Satanists. So they put him there. He's a puppet child. I like him. He's a cool guy. He knows how to speak like Obama. But he's an idiot. He's an idiot, moron child. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, Obama would fucking... He bedazzle you with those words and drop wrong with the straightest face.
Yeah, I like Obama. I like him. He was good. Like, good by a sense of like a poster. He did so many shit, but yeah, let's end it here. It's a slippery slope. The more we talk, it never ends. But one thing, one day, imagine you're gonna go wake up and see from the television the leader of Armenia. You can say, I know this motherfucker from Clubhouse. Imagine that.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely probably take a trip there. Come see you. But I'm gonna to check you out on Twitter though. You know, don't forget to come on Clubhouse though. You know what I'm saying?
It's 100%. It's the same name everywhere. Art and my last name here, Postayan. Art Postayan everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Sure. Arc like Noah's, right? So ARCH.
Arc, no, K. Arc, like Ark of Noah.
Oh, it's an ARK?
Yeah, Ark of Noah, then Postayan.
Alright, no doubt.
It's
Alright, say that. So yeah, I'm gonna tap in with you, Postayan.
Sure, talk to you guys.
Alright, take it easy, brother.
Right, you too. Have a good day.